Hi, good afternoon. My name is Elia del Carmen Gomez Alvarado, and today I'm going to talk about a brief history of translation up to the 1980s. According to some studies, translation started with the transferring activities, implicit or explicit, from Greek into Roman. The first jurists were Saint Jerome and Saint Augustine. And the Romans said that translation is not carried out by finding equivalence between words. The discussion is about whether it is possible to transfer meaning in a word-for-word translation. That it has gone through many phases: the idealist, the structuralist, and the functionalist. Also, Romans said about translating meaning for meaning, it works, but the problem is that we have to decide what kind of meaning it is: a sentence meaning, utterance meaning, or functional meaning. Talking about modern approaches now in this century, I'm gonna talk about first with an American theorist. The first one that we can find here is Ezra Pound. He was a poet, and his translation of Chinese poetry became famous in the 1920s. He insisted the necessity to translate rhythm, diction, and movement. For him, the importance of intertextual relation is basic. As we know that he was a great poet, he knew how to capture what a man say, but what he means, something that we call now the implication of the word. The most interesting thing here is that he didn't know how to read in Chinese when he did the translation with the help of a dictionary. It is not important. Then another American theorist that we can find here, it is William Van Orman Quine. He wrote the book Word and Object in 1960. He introduced the idea that there is no such a thing as equivalence, that it is not important which level we posit that equivalence, word for word, phrase for phrase, sentence for sentence. There always will be a problem of referentiality and determinacy. All of that depends on the text and the target of the translation. Nowadays, the theory it is in continued discussion, the theory that Quine said. And finally, we can find here Eugene Nida, and he is the authority of the Bible translation. Also, he wrote the theory and practice of translation. He offers some priority for a proper translation. He presupposed some kind of a meaning underlying the original text, which is accessible to the translator. With that, he means that the form of the message is unimportant. For him, the words are labels, and they can be changed in order to effect communication. Finally, in this interesting chapter, we find here a word that is translatability. That it means whatever we say in one language can always be translated into another. Also, we can say whether it is at all possible to translate. Here, the theory said that the transfer of this word from one language into another is a difficult task, but it's not impossible. And finally, before finishing this video, I can say now, as a reflection, that translation is a really difficult task when we are learning or we are teaching a new language, in this case, English. As a teacher, we have to be careful what kind of activities we give to our student. We don't have to forget that we have to focus that they have to practice the four skills in terms of a communicative competence. And thank you so much. That's all about me. Bye bye.